The Kentucky Lottery has been a proud host of Bourbon and Beyond for the past 3 years. So we're so excited for the Kentucky Distillers Association, and we're wishing you the very best for the world's biggest toast. Cheers.
G'day everybody, Greg Keeley here at Larrikin Bourbon Company on the Bourbon Trail in central Kentucky. We're super excited to be part of the World Bourbon Toast Day, number 2. Here's cheers.
Happy World Bourbon Toast Day!
From Lewis, Birmingham,
Cheers!
Welcome back, everybody. The toast just happened a little bit ago. We are back with hour 9. Can you believe it?
9 hours in, but you know what, Katie? It doesn't feel like hour 9.
It really doesn't.
You know what?
It feels like the first time. And we're delirious because, like we said, it's hour 9.
Okay, but the World Bourbon Toast is still going on, so remember to post and toast using hashtag World Bourbon Toast and tagging Kentucky Bourbon Trail. We are joined now by Angel's Envy Master Distiller Owen Martin. Owen, thank you for celebrating toast with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, it is our pleasure. And you were just up on stage with us toasting in front of all that huge crowd.
Yep.
Tell us what we were toasting with.
Yes, I didn't know it until we got on stage, but we were toasting with Triple Oak, which is cool to me, right? Like Angel's Envy's been around for 15 years. Our flagship's a port finished bourbon. This has only been out for a year, and this is my baby with the company. So pretty cool full circle moment there.
I think it was popular. I mean, empty.
Yes, right. It was empty very quickly, so I figured that was a good thing. Part of me was like, should I have a full bottle on stage? I was like, actually, this probably speaks better to it, right? But yeah, so like I said, out for just about a year. And basically the idea being a signature series edition for ours, so a day in, day out staple of our lineup. And as I said, we have a port finished bourbon. That's what we've made our name on. But this is kind of our foray into like toasted oak, double oaking, that sort of thing. And so taking it on some more a traditional bourbon profile, which felt kind of appropriate for today.
Well, it was certainly delicious and enjoyed by all.
Yes. And still being enjoyed by all.
Yep.
Yes, certainly is.
Well, that's great. I love how you talk about you want bourbon to be approachable for people and not just for bourbon nerds. And I think that's so wonderful because I think sometimes bourbon can be a little intimidating for people that don't know that much about it. So how do you help make sure that's accessible to people?
Yeah, I think no matter what release I'm working on, I always have to think of it from both sides, right? Like if I haven't made a just delicious whiskey in and of itself, then I haven't done my job right. But I want to come from the other side and hit every single nerdy detail as well. But I think us being a cast finished bourbon brand, we kind of have a little bit of an avenue towards that just by the cast finishing, right? If we finish it in a wine barrel, we can impart a little bit of sweetness and fruitiness and do those sort of things that add a degree of approachability to it. I mean, we can always do the high proof specialty releases as well, don't get me wrong. But as far as our core lineups, like Triple Oak now being included in that, definitely want that balance between approachability and complexity.
And Angel's Envy isn't your first foray into whiskey making.
Hour 9.
Hour 9.
Hour 9. Hour 9.
Rolling through it.
Nope.
Yeah, so, but moving from your previous role to Angel's Envy, what is one thing about the Kentucky bourbon culture that maybe caught you by surprise or shifted how you think about whiskey making?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to, I guess, go to the community. So my background, just very briefly, I'm not from Kentucky, I'm from Kansas City, but I actually got into the industry via Scotch. So I lived in Scotland for 2 years, and that's where I learned how to make whiskey. And then since then, I've worked in other smaller markets in kind of like craft distilling until I got to Kentucky. So, with all that kind of varied background, I thought, maybe you come in and it's a very closed off community, and it's very much been the opposite of that, right? Like such a welcoming community, and one that I feel like incredibly proud to be a part of. Obviously, with all our neighbors and the different distilleries, I want everybody to do well. I want us to do a little bit better, but I want everybody to do well, because when everybody's doing well, the industry's healthy, and it's truly a rising tide to raise all ships type scenario.
And it is true, and that is one thing I do love about my job and this industry is marketing department aside, we're all one big family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we're calling each other, we see each other, we love hanging out.
I met you 5 days into living in Kentucky, so and it's been wonderful from day one. So yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Oh, all right. Now we got to ask you something fun. If you could toast with any artist, who would you want to share a toast to bourbon?
I mean, today I gotta say, Foreigner, right?
I mean,
Check. I guess past or present.
Oh, your
Either.
choice.
yes, your choice.
I'm gonna go David Bowie.
Oh, shoot.
Gosh, that's
You
a
took
good
it
one.
from here to here.
Yeah. Well, it's not gonna happen, but I can at least
Right.
kind of think about what it might be like. So.
Are we talking like just David Bowie, or are we talking like Ziggy Stardust era?
Well, that's what I like about it. Is like, I mean, we talk about making whiskeys for all different occasions and different types, right? And like, there's so many different eras of Bowie. Like, it doesn't matter which one. Any one would be a completely different experience. So.
Yes. And you're ready for it. I love how he's ready. He's like, I'm ready.
Yeah. Put me
exactly.
in. Well, maybe in the next life, I guess. But yeah.
Hey, well, can I put you on the spot and say what would your toast be?
What would my toast be?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I totally.
I
put
guess
you on
to
the
the
spot.
unexpected,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like, if I can keep coming out with whiskeys that kind of subvert expectations, they should. I also feel like when I'm innovating, it should feel authentic. And I feel like what Bowie did well is that each album to album, your expectations would be completely subverted, but it still is inherently authentic to what he was doing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Let's dance.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. And cheers to you.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Thank you for hosting, being the host bourbon for us, and celebrating World Bourbon Toast with us.
But everybody, don't go anywhere. We have more coming up. We've got another interview right after this. We're talking to Fred Minnick, who has joined us. And guess what? I bet you're never going to guess what I'm going to say next. We've got more giveaways. I mean, they just keep coming. So be sure and stay tuned, and we'll be announcing more winners.
All right, we are so excited to be joined on Zoom by the man, the myth, and obviously the legend, Fred Minnick, bourbon expert, author, the host of the Fred Minnick Show, longtime friend of Kentucky Bourbon Trail, and my occasional lunch date. How are you? I miss your face.
Good. Yeah, I miss you. I do think we are owed some tacos here soon.
Agreed.
Like that used to be our thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll get there. Bourbon Heritage Month. I know it's crazy for everybody. You're crazy busy all the time. You've built a career on bourbon storytelling. So tell me your wildest or most surprising, your bourbon story. That's what I want to hear.
Well, I gotta share one that is only me, so I don't get anybody in trouble, because there's a lot of bourbon stories out there that, like, you know what? I don't think Jimmy wants that story told, so I'll keep that one close to the vest.
We're not signing any waivers here, okay?
Yeah, I got to be careful. And this is actually a pretty interesting one. So I'm an Iraq vet. You can see the boots behind me. And when we were in Iraq, it wasn't like Vietnam where there was alcohol everywhere. There was time for breaks. You could go to a place and go drink. There was nothing like that. So I used to have friends send me Jim Beam, and what they would do is they would pour out Listerine bottles and pour Jim Beam in Listerine, because it was basically the same color. So the MPs would not catch it when they were inspecting packages. They would just look at it like, oh, yeah, well, that's that's Listerine, and they wouldn't, so that's how I would partake in a dram while I was in Iraq. Was I would be drinking it out of a Listerine bottle.
Did you ever get caught?
No, never got caught. Come to find out, there were people who actually would go into Erbil, which is the Kurdish area of Iraq, and they would buy Maker's Mark, and they would buy Maker's Mark was very available there, and so they would buy a bunch of Maker's Mark and they would bring it back to the base. I only found this out like well after I had my little Listerine scheme going.
Yeah, that's a lot of energy just to find out people are just walking around with full-on original containers.
Yeah, it's just war's stressful, and there was no like place for us to kind of like unwind. We could have cigars and stuff, but when we were able to, we would have a dram and just enjoy ourselves. But
and a little taste from home too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then, of course, that was before I was covering bourbon. So when people ask me like, "Oh, did you always enjoy bourbon?" That's one of my well, I had it bootlegged while I was at war, so yeah, I think I always enjoyed bourbon.
You've got a new podcast coming out. Tell us what listeners can expect and why should bourbon fans tune in?
Yeah, so this podcast is called Fourth and Neat. It's with Pro Football Hall of Famer Jared Allen, who went viral this past year at his Hall of Fame induction speech when he was talking about his daughters and how important his family is to him. Jared and I have been friends. He's starting a bourbon actually, and we were just kind of hanging out. And I was like, well, why don't we start a podcast together? And this show it's not a bourbon show. I mean, the bourbon's a part of it. There's an element of bourbon to it, but it's not a bourbon show. We're talking, about culture, things that's happening. He's a big foodie, so a lot of food stuff comes up. And we talk wrestling because, I'm a big wrestling fan, like real wrestling fan, like Go Bellarmine Knights. And I am just an avid, I do jujitsu. So we're just going to talk about all the just stuff in life. And our first episode just dropped. And the main topics were radioactive shrimp recalls and the fact that there are whiskey companies out there who flavor their whiskey with a extract from a beaver butt, an actual beaver butt.
I am familiar with the beaver butt extract.
You know about the beaver butt?
It's from my days when I worked at Flavor Man. Yeah, it's very, people have no idea. It's quite tasty, to be honest with you.
Oh, so you've been tasting the beaver butt. All right.
I think most of America has been tasting the beaver butt. So they have to tune into that show to find out.
Okay, so basically we're getting undisclosed beaver butt flavorings and stuff out there. All right.
Well, that's appropriate with the radioactive shrimp segment as well. Yeah.
That's scary. That's actually scary.
All right, we're going to transition to music now since we are celebrating World Bourbon Toast in conjunction with Bourbon and Beyond. And as you know, Bourbon and Beyond brings in massive artists each year. Who's been the most fun musician that you have shared a pour with?
Well, I've had a lot of them, from Eric Church, Dierks Bentley. He's become a great friend. Jelly Roll, like I've interviewed Jelly Roll several times, and it's been fun with all of them. But I'd have to say there's one person I interviewed during the pandemic, and I sent him, or rather Michter sent him a bottle of Celebration, which that's like depending on what auction site you look at, it's about a $5,000 to $40,000 bottle. Like, I mean, very minimum, it's usually $10,000-$15,000 bottle. It's an expensive bottle. And, we're going through the interview, and he just picks up this really expensive bottle of Michter's and drinks it straight from the bottle. And I'm just like, that was a viral moment during the pandemic. And it was like, I have never, when anyone ever talks to me about my show, they're always like, hey, do you remember when Ludacris drank from the Michter Celebration? I was like, yes, I remember that. It was quite something. And I thought Michter's going to be like, man, that's not teaching responsibility. And I thought all the people from the industry were going to be like, man, you can't have people drinking straight from the bottom. I'm like, it's Ludacris. What do you want me to do? I can't say don't drink straight from the bottle. It's Ludacris. It's gonna be Ludacris.
Put it down.
Yeah.
Did he share?
He shared, and he said he's going to share with his homies. Like he's going to have his friends over and
Okay.
crush it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they make it for. I mean, at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment though. But
Yeah.
yeah, musicians are great people to sip bourbon with because they're so artistic and they're always thinking. Musician people just see them on stage and they kind of sometimes put them as robots. But like I remember drinking with Lars backstage at a Metallica show, and the guy was just actively thinking about stuff. Same with Maynard from Tool. He was, sipping with him. Like that guy has a wide alcohol knowledge. There's just so many incredible personalities in the music space that we just kind of like lump them in the category of what their songs are. But in fact, they're real people, and their personalities come out a lot when you drink with them.
Oh, I bet. And that's a great way. It brings people together. And that's what we always say, bourbon brings people together. People love to gather. And it's a great way to make friends and get to know people better.
Without a doubt.
And since music and bourbon are so connected for you, we have to ask. Well, I have to ask. What's the first album you bought with your own money?
So this wasn't technically an album. It was a cassette tape. And it was an Eazy-E. It was like, we're talking like late 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Like early 90s. Eazy-E.
Early MTV. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. And this is like old school rap. And I had it in my walkie-talkie, or not my walkie-talkie. I had it in my Walkman in middle school. Yes. And of course, that was against the rules. And Mr. Stevenson, our principal, found it and called my mom. And my mom said to whoop my butt, and then to break it. And so Mr. Stevens took my Eazy-E tape, smashed it on the desk, and then spanked me.
Oh no!
Because that was the time of like they were saying like all this music was the devil and what have you.
Oh yeah. Was that before it had the explicit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's way back. Oh, I'm so sorry about your Eazy.
Yeah. Eazy-E was taken from my life. At that time. But
Do you bring him back?
I think around that same time, I also bought like Whitesnake and Guns N' Roses. But the thing is like I've always loved all music. So back then, you kind of got lumped into what kind of category you like. Today, you can just hear the fusion of all the genres, and that's what I love about music. Is like if you go into one of my playlists, I'll have Luke Combs in there, Metallica, and Jelly Roll, and then like Killer Mike. It's just I guess you couldn't have had a playlist like that back in the day.
And I do want to make sure you are bestowing this knowledge and onto your children.
You know what? My kids, they want to listen to podcasts. My oldest son just wants to listen to wrestling podcasts to see what Oklahoma State and Penn State are going to be doing. And then and my youngest, he's kind of in his own world where he's coming up with his music. He's got his own little Italian opera going on right now in the back seat. No matter what else is going on, it's kind of cute. So.
Oh, well, I love to hear that. And I want to thank you for spending the time with us. I know you're very busy. It was great to see you. Let me just say, I feel like the theme of this entire thing is your illicit side hustles with the bootlegging and the sneaking the Walkman into school. So
yeah. Oh, I have done a lot of things in my life, most of which I'm proud of, but every now and then, a couple things here and there that may have been frowned upon.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that over tacos next time I see you for lunch.
You got it.
All right, Fred, thank you so much. Thank you for celebrating World Bourbon Toast with us. And everybody be sure to check out his new podcast. What's it called?
Fourth and Neat.
There you have it. Fred Minnick, everybody. Thank you.
Cheers.
That was so fun.
I know. I love I love their stories. It's so fun. And I wish these interviews could be longer or I had more time to talk with them. And as you heard, Fred owes me a lunch day, so we'll be catching up.
You've got witnesses.
Yeah. Fred, if you're watching, I'm coming for you.
But guess what?
What?
It's that time again.
Again?
We have another giveaway.
Oh my goodness.
I can't even believe it. I mean,
all right.
Still not done.
Okay.
So tell us what they won.
Here we go. Okay, here is what this lucky winner has won. A Whiskey Thief uncut and unfiltered experience for 6, paired with a t-shirt, hat, glasses, and a tasting journal. Plus a Visit Woodford County passport, 2 t-shirts, and rock glasses. They're going to be set.
Gosh.
They are going to be set.
And that one's donated by Whiskey Thief and Woodford County Tourism.
Yes. All right,
So-
Katie, who is our lucky winner?
All right. It is none other than Chris Campbell on Facebook. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chris.
Keep an eye on your DMs. And I think we've got more giveaways.
Yes, coming up next hour again. And once again, there will be 2 winners next hour. Once again, there will be 2 winners. It's like we've gotten to the bottom of the barrel that just keeps going and going and going. And we're like, we've got to get rid of all this stuff. Yeah. And all of this stuff has been donated by our distilleries and by our partners. So, I mean, it's just the generosity. Yeah, it really is.
It really is overwhelming.
Yes.
Yes.
So, all right, next hours, here's what we're going to be giving away. Winner number 1 will receive several merchandise items from Buzzard's Roost, including a t-shirt, keychain, lapel pin, fan, challenge coins, and more, plus a James E. Pepper tasting certificate for 4, paired with a t-shirt, rocks glass, vintage poster, magnet, and sticker swag bag.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that might be like 2 bags, 3 bags.
That might be several bags.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
So,
you may need
okay.
a Sherpa for your
Yeah.
swag.
So that second prize winner is
Okay.
going to get admission to the Kentucky Derby Museum and a barn and backside tour for 2.
Oh, can I enter?
Please. And a $50 gift card to the Kentucky Derby Museum store, plus 2 tickets to the Oxmoor Bourbon Company's Origins Tour and Tasting.
Oh, wow.
Finally, they'll receive a Barrel House logo barrel head display, 2 glasses, and a glass decanter.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is just heavy
I know.
after a while. It's just,
It
I
is.
hope you're working out
More
there.
like a prize box.
It
not a
really,
bag.
really.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, so, or maybe a Santa bag.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, so be sure to keep your notifications on and join us as we go live at the top of the next hour and talk to more special guests and announce even more winners.
I mean, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And don't forget to continue to toast and post with us wherever you are. We love seeing all these pictures coming in. Everybody toasting and posting around the globe. It is so exciting to see. So hashtag World Bourbon Toast, tag Kentucky Bourbon Trail, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you next hour.